estoy muy bien. It has been a long time since I've uploaded a video, and I'm glad that like now me saying a long time only means like 2 weeks, because usually like before, when I first started the channel, a long time meant like 4 months. So I'm glad we're away from that. As you know, or maybe you don't, I have had 3 weeks from hell. From hell, like just pulled straight out of Satan's asshole, basically. And now I'm going to do my makeup and tell you what happened. Okay. Oh, I took my hair out. I don't know if that wasn't apparent, but that's what I did. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna use these bunny ears to look. I want this hair pulled back, but I also don't want to look stupid. It's good. Okay, so the last time you heard from me, giving some sort of update about my life, was right before the day of my senior recital. Okay, for those of you who don't know what a senior recital is, so when you're in college, when you get to your senior year, depending on what major you're in, it's usually like evolving, or your last semester, your last couple semesters, usually revolving around your capstone, basically showing people what the fuck you've been doing these last 4 years. Okay, so for music majors, our senior recital is our capstone, and that means that we play in front of an audience for an hour with a 15-minute intermission at my school. And it's like you and a pianist and maybe some other person if you have a duet. I had a duet. So there was another guy in there too, but mostly it was just me and my pianist. Yeah, so I was freaking the fuck out. Okay, I don't know if you've ever played your clarinet for people for an hour, but it's pretty scary. And so when I was a junior last year, I had my junior recital in the fall. In your junior recital, you do the same thing, but you play for 30 minutes. And I had a panic attack during my junior recital. During my first piece, I started playing my first piece, and my body just went completely cold. I felt like the warmth had just ran all the way out to like, it just literally ran out, and I couldn't breathe, and I had to like skip all the way to the end of my piece. Thankfully my pianist was able to follow me while I was playing, and I had to like take 15 minutes to get myself together because it was wild. I had to like use my inhaler and everything. Like, it was really wild. So having that experience, I was really scared to do the senior recital because I was like, that is so embarrassing. I really do not want to have to pass out in front of people. Like, that would be the most embarrassing thing ever. So I was really freaking out about that. So in my live stream that I was doing while I was putting on my makeup, lost my train of thought. What am I doing? Oh, I need to put on foundation. Okay. I was putting on my makeup. Yeah, I was drinking because I literally spent, I was so anxious about this. I could not fall asleep the night before. I stayed up until probably like 3 a.m. because I couldn't fall asleep. And then I woke up because I was so anxious. I woke up at like 8 a.m. So I just started cleaning a bunch of things. I literally did not know what to do with myself. And so then finally it was time for me to like reasonably, because I didn't want to put my makeup on too soon, but I didn't want to put it on right before because I wanted it to be like set, because right before I do my makeup, right after I finish doing my makeup, it's always like really matte, and I feel like my skin looks really dry afterward. So I wanted to have time for my skin. Dang, I really wanted to. Okay, it's okay. I wanted to put concealer on, but it's okay. I guess that just wasn't in the cards for me today. But yeah, so when I was putting on my makeup with you guys on that live stream, I was drinking because that was literally the only thing that was calming my nerves. I could not, like, I tried deep breathing, I tried all those other exercises to like relieve stress, and none of it was working except for drinking wine. Okay, so that was helping a lot, and I was getting really relaxed and actually really excited. So after I got off the live stream, I went to pick up my friend and her mom because they had gotten there early, and I was like, oh yeah, just come to my apartment, whatever. And they came, we talked, they met my roommates and my other friend that was here for my recital, and we talked. So I was feeling good. I was feeling really good, but I could tell that my buzz was starting to wear off, and we were about to leave because I wanted to be at the music center before, at least an hour beforehand, to like warm up and like just make sure that I was good to go. And because I had like 2 dress changes, like I had a dress change in the middle of my recital, and I wanted to be able to make sure that my dresses were good, like I knew what I was gonna do, because I didn't want to have to go all the way to the bathroom to like do that. Anyway, okay, so long story short, we were about to leave, and we were walking out, and then I was like, I just started getting really scared that I was gonna get sober and my nerves were gonna start getting the better of me again. And so I was like, hey guys, I forgot something, I'll be right back. And I went back into my room and I took the biggest chug of vodka. It was a terrible idea. It was such a terrible idea, but I took the biggest chug of vodka because I was like, this is going to be insurance for my this is going to ensure that I won't get sober right before my recital and start freaking out. So yeah, but I took too big of a swig and I ended up getting drunk. I was completely drunk, and I was trying to keep it together because I was like, whoa, there is no way, like this recital is in an hour, I need to get my shit together. But it was like the more time went by, the more drunk I got. So it was just crazy. So I played my recital completely drunk. I was completely drunk, but it was fun though, because okay, I have to go to the bathroom. I can't hold this in anymore. I'll be back. Never mind, it was just a poot. Okay, but yeah, I did my whole recital drunk, and it was so funny because as the recital was going, I was getting more sober. But yeah, I did it drunk, and okay, no, I guess I really do have to go to the bathroom. Okay, I'm relieved now. Great. So after my recital, a lot of people brought me flowers. I was not expecting that, and I was so freaking grateful. Like, it literally made me want to cry because I got 4 bouquets of flowers. It was just so freaking nice. I literally just could not even. Okay, I'm back. So after my recital, a lot of people were giving me I got 4 bouquets of flowers, and that was so heartwarming for me. I did not know people were gonna bring me flowers. So that was really touching. So the plan and then I ended up taking a bunch of pictures and talking to people, thanking everybody who came, whatever. Usually at my school, people like to have receptions after their recitals. I was not into that at all. First of all, because they usually have help from their families to like do that kind of stuff. My family couldn't come, and I just didn't see the point in like spending all that money I just didn't see the point. So weeks ago, I had just made it up in my mind that I was gonna have a reception, but it was gonna be at my apartment, and just for like really close people that I wanted to be there, and I was gonna make a dinner, chicken parm, and whatever. Okay, so finally get back to my room, and I I'm like trying to like wind down, because whenever stuff like that happens, I have to calm myself down from like, it was just a lot of attention and like a lot of emotions, a lot of like high stuff, and like everybody was telling me that I did so great, and like I was like, oh my gosh, I had to like really like calm myself down, because like my emotions, the way that I feel them is just so intense. Like even when I'm angry, it's intense. When I'm happy, it's intense, and I have to like catch my breath. I don't really know how to explain it that well, but so anyway, when my friends had gone to the store for me to, because my roommate, she was like, oh, we should get like a tablecloth and stuff for the dinner and stuff, and I was like, okay. So when they finally came back to the store from the store, I was like, yes, we are gonna make chicken parm, we're gonna do this, whatever. Okay, the power went out. The power went out, and I was shook. I was like, oh my god, how long is this gonna freaking last, you know? So we're just sitting in the dark, and I'm like freaking out, because I'm like, people are gonna start showing up here, and like it's really soon. People had already started to show up, and I was like, oh yeah, I really need to get this dinner started. And I was like, oh my god, it's not gonna be long before like all my guests like come, and I hadn't even started putting the chicken parm in. What I should have did was prep the chicken, so that when the electricity turned back on, I could just pop it in the oven. But I wasn't thinking about that for some reason. I can't remember what I was doing, but I was just freaking out and whatever. So I wasn't really thinking about doing that. What was I gonna say? Okay, so it took an hour before the power came back on, and by then all my friends were there. And I was like, so as soon as the power came back on, I was like trying to hurry and get everything started. Mind you, I had never cooked chicken parm before, so I literally just found this like random recipe online and was just like following it as I went. And I felt bad, because like everybody was just like talking, whatever, but they were kind of like, I know that they were hoping to like eat as soon as they got there, and that's what I had intended, for us to like eat, drink, and then like play games. But so it was just really whatever. Long story short, it ended up being one of the best nights of my life, because we did our thing. I made dinner for everybody loved it. I was like, yes, score. And I was just so, because like a lot of my friends came from like out of state to come see me, and it just meant the world to me. I was just, I felt so good. So anyway, so everybody was leaving and whatever. The party was kind of like dwindling down to the last few people who like lived on campus, and we started playing games. And the games were fun. We were playing like this game called Paranoia. We were playing Truth or Dare, whatever. And then suddenly the power goes out again. Okay. But this time, it wasn't just us. Some motherfucker had crashed into some sort of pole, and there was a power outage in the whole town. The entire town. So I was freaking out, because I was like, at first I really wasn't that nervous about it, but then I was like, wait, all of my food is in this fridge, and they could not tell us. They were like, we have no freaking idea when we're going to be able to get this power back on. So I'm freaking out, because I don't have a meal plan. The only way I was able to afford my last semester here was to live in the apartments and not have a meal plan. Okay, so rightfully so, I was freaking out, because I was like, I am on a really strict budget when it comes to food. I can't afford for all of my food in this fridge to go spoiled. And so But anyway, that night though, I was like, let's just take it in stride. Let's just, let's just see what happens. I wasn't really mad. I was just like, because I wasn't really like worried. My whole thing was, oh, are we gonna have school tomorrow? I really wanted to have school. Actually, no, did I? Was it that night that I wanted to have school? I think I didn't. I didn't want to have school. And we all figured that, there's a power outage in the whole freaking town. Why would they make us go to school? That's stupid. Well, for some reason, they were able to turn on the power in some of the academic buildings and like one of the eating places. So we had to go to school the next day, even though nobody's fucking power was on. Nobody could take a shower. We had to go to school. The gym was open. And in the gym, you could take showers. So they were telling people that if you really need to take a shower, you could take there. But again, they had no idea when this power was coming back on. And I'm sitting here like starving. I went up because I had a lot of classes that day. And I was surviving off of like Cheerios and water because I had a lot of classes. I didn't have time because usually on Mondays I make my lunch and I bring it with me so I don't have to worry about that. I didn't have time to like ask one of my friends for a meal swipe or this or this or this. So I was fucking starving. So then we all get a mass email saying, oh, not a mass email, but then it starts going around because people started checking the power company websites. They were saying, oh, we're not going to be able to get this power back on until March 8th, March 7th. And it's, what is it? Or no, March 1st. And at the time, it was Monday. March 1st was a motherfucking Friday. And we were like, what? Are you joking? So there was like an uproar. And then, because of all of that uproar, they were like, oh, never mind. We're going to be able to get it done by 11 p.m. tonight. Your power is going to be on by 11 p.m. tonight. Now, see, I knew something was up with that. Because I was like, how did you just hop skip from Friday to now 4 days of work to now you're telling me that this power is about to be back on in the matter of 4 hours? Because by the time we got that email, it was like 8 o'clock. 9, 10, 11. Or maybe it was 7. It was probably 7 or 6. Yeah, actually it was 6 because I was in my second to last Spanish class. So I get another email. So I didn't, like I said, I thought something's not right with that. That doesn't make sense. But then after that, I got another email saying, hey, we noticed that you are a student on campus that doesn't have a meal plan. And we are giving meal vouchers out to people to go to the dining hall, but only for tonight. So if you want to eat, you have to get, they were like, you have to go get a meal voucher, get it signed, and then go to the dining hall. Wild. And they were like, if you don't have a signed meal voucher, you're not going to be able to eat, whatever. Well, I'm looking at this email like, excuse me, I have class until like 8:40 tonight. Or I had class until 8. The place where they wanted us to go to get the voucher was all across campus. So it's going to take me 15 minutes to walk over there. And sometimes I didn't get out of class until like 8:20 or something. So you telling me that I need to haul ass over across campus for 15 minutes, come back, because the dining hall doesn't closes at 9, so I'd only have like 30 minutes to eat. What? No, I shouldn't have to be rushed. So I was like, and I didn't know how many people were going to be there. It could have been hella long lines because everybody was affected by this. So I was just like, no, it's not going down like this. So I was like, thank you so much for this offer. I was never rude in the email. I was like, thank you so much for this offer. But I am in a predicament where I don't get out of class until late. So I just don't see it. And I told her the whole thing, like, I don't get out of class until this time, whatever. She was like, okay, that's fine. Just come and I'll give them your name and then you'll be able to eat. And it was like, cool. okay, so after class, I went down to the dining hall with my friend, and we ate, and it was fine. It was cool. And then we went, because the power still wasn't back on, because it was only like 10 o'clock. So we both went to, where is that? Okay, had to take a break, to do my eyeliner. We all know I don't do my eyeliner on camera. It just takes too long. Okay, what was I talking about? So, after the dinner party, things were dying down. Oh, okay. I'm way past the dinner party. Okay, so I emailed the lady, told her and she was like, okay, yeah, just do this and this and this, whatever. Oh, okay, so I'm at the part where me and my roommate are done eating, and we go to the music building to do our homework, because we knew we couldn't do our homework in our room because the power was out. Okay, anyway, so we're there, and we're hanging out with my friends or whatever. It's been a long day. This has felt like the longest day of my life because I was starving the whole day. I was literally starving. And even though I had just eaten, I was feeling hungry again because I had just eaten, but like it was probably 600 calories max. So that the whole day I probably had like 650 calories. That's not good. It's not healthy at all. So I was just, as a whole, I was just done, and I was like, I can't wait, because they were like still giving us updates and everything, and I was like, I just can't wait for this nightmare to be fucking over. And finally, they told us that the power was back on and everything, and it might take a few minutes to get our hot water running, but everything was on, and they got it on by 11:15. So I was like, okay, cool. So we were finishing up our homework. We wanted to finish up our homework just because we knew that if we like went home and tried to like restart it, I would just end up falling asleep. So we left at like 1 o'clock. And then my friend was like, hey, do you want to get sheets? And I was like, yeah, I actually do, because I'm starving. So we all get sheets, we come back, and we're like, yeah, thanks Stu for the ride, whatever. He leaves. Me and my roommate come, we're just looking at each other like, wow, this was a hell of a day. And we're eating our sheets, we're in our beds, like I'm in this bed right here, she's in this bed right here, we're eating our sheets, and we're like, yeah, that was kind of like a nightmare, but we're glad it's over. And I'm done with my sheets. Sorry, I just picked my nose. Done with my sheets, and it's about I want to say about 1:45 at this point. I was gonna do some more homework, but then I was like, you know what? No, I deserve a good night's rest. Let me just go to sleep, and whatever will be tomorrow just will be. I'm literally about to get my shit together, about to pull the covers over myself, when beep, 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 the motherfucking fire alarm goes off. And I was like, is this a joke? Is this a fucking joke? No, it wasn't. And we all had to leave that. And we came out of the building, because I'm like scrambling. And I'm like, where's my ID card so I can get back in this bitch? Like, where's my shit? And I was like basically naked, so I had to like throw on clothes because it's about to be cold as fuck outside. And my ears were ringing because of the loud ass alarm. We were blown, could not believe it. We get outside, we start coming out of the building, and I smell smoke everywhere. And I'm like, oh my god, what is happening? Is this a real fire? We get out of the building, and our RAs are running around, like, so they don't even know what's going on. So this was definitely not a fire drill. Something is definitely going down. And because it was so cold, because we have 2 apartment buildings right next to each other, so they told us to go wait in the other apartment building lobby. So all of us from this fucking apartment was in this little ass lobby waiting for like, what the fuck is happening? Well, when they're finally getting it under control, they come back and they tell us that the building overheated. Surprise, motherfucking surprise. when you tell us that you're gonna need 4 days to fix the problem and then magically you just pull out, oh, I'm gonna fix it in 4 hours. Never mind. Just kidding. What did you think was gonna happen? What the fuck did you think was gonna happen? So I was livid because and on top of that, they didn't even know how long it was gonna take for them to get it fixed. So I'm like, and you know they wasn't going to cancel class the next day. You already knew they wasn't about to cancel class the next day. So I was absolutely livid. I was so mad and so tired. So mad and so tired. So we had waited almost 2 hours for that to get fixed. So it's like, what, like 3:30 in the morning, almost 4 o'clock. We get back to our rooms, or well, right before we get back, they're like, yeah, you guys can go back into your rooms, but there's not going to be any heat because we can't turn on the heat. We have to figure out what's going on. We had to sleep in the fucking cold that night. In the fucking cold. I was livid. And mind you, so at this point, I'm realizing that, because I hadn't even checked my fridge yet. So the next morning, I checked my fridge and I realized all of my food is spoiled. All of my food is completely spoiled, rotten. It's just not good. It's not. So I cook up some eggs because I felt like at the very least I could probably eat the eggs. So I eat the eggs and like I put them in those like tortilla. But like how long was that really supposed to last me? Anyway, so eventually, so that day the power was like on and off. It would go out sometimes, but like it was for the most part pretty much good. Actually, that night before I'm trying to think. Okay, so Tuesday I realized I need to contact somebody because I don't have any food in my fridge, and I remembered about the meal vouchers that they had, and my friend is an RA, and he literally told me that literally no one had came to get those meal vouchers. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So they have hella extra left, like, and they apparently had printed off like 100. So I write an email, and I'm like, thank you so much, and I write an email to 4 different fucking staff members, and I'm like, thank you so much for keeping us all updated with everything that's happening. I'm sure this has been a stressful time, not only for us, but for you guys as well. But because, with that being said, I wanted to express that I'm in kind of a pickle. Like, I didn't say that. Obviously, my email is way more professional than that. Not way more professional, but more well worded than that. But basically, I was like, I live on campus without a meal plan because I can't afford a meal plan, and I lost all of my food in my fridge. And I didn't say, give me some motherfucking food. I didn't even ask directly for a meal voucher. I said, I'm reaching out in the hopes that you will be able to help me remedy this situation until I have enough money to buy groceries again. If there are no solutions for me, I understand, but I hope that there is some sort of solution to this problem. 4 different motherfucking staff members on this campus that I sent that email to, I never heard anything back from either of them in almost 3 days. And in those 3 days, because it was like when I realized that they weren't getting back to me, it was the end of the second day, and I was like, do they not realize that I'm starving? Like, this isn't some bullshit about how like I can't pay my tuition bill, or like I need more time to make up this money and this and this. No, I'm literally telling you I have no fucking food, and I'm so busy that I don't have time to go have one of my friends swipe me for lunch. So I have to be starving the whole day and then try to find someone to give me a free meal swipe at the end of the day. Gorge myself in food because I don't know when my next meal is gonna be. And it was midterm. That's what fucking killed me because it was midterms week. So I was pissed. So I ended up sending another email because that was another thing. When I realized that all of this was happening, the power went out again and the music building overheated. Like, hella fire trucks had to come. I'm freaking out. My clarinet is in that freaking music building. I don't know what the heck is going on. Because at the time, we didn't know it was just like an overheated. We just saw that like 5 fire trucks were coming on campus, heading straight to the music building. And I was freaking out because I'm like, my life is literally in one of those lockers. The reason that I am at this school is literally in one of those lockers. I was freaking out. But at the same time, I was still pissed off because I'm like, I don't understand why my email wasn't at least acknowledged. Like, I wasn't expecting for them to be like, oh yeah, here's $1,000 to go get some food, like whatever. It wasn't even acknowledged. And I'm not saying that like hella people weren't sending emails, but like, I literally told you I don't have any food to eat, and it's midterms week, and I'm supposed to be expected to do well on midterms. Anyway, long story short, I ended up contacting a staff member, or a lady who works at my school that I'm really, really close with, and I told her the situation, and I was like, because at first, I asked her firsthand, who should I talk to, who should I email about this? And she told me, and then I asked my RA too, and he gave me a few names. So that was my first round of emails. Well, they didn't say anything back to me, so I texted her again, and I'm asking her, like, they still have not said anything to me, and I'm literally starving. I have been starving for almost 3 days now. And she's like, oh my god, I can't believe this. Okay, I'm going to send give me another email telling everything that happened, and I'm gonna send it directly to my boss. Okay, so I made another email saying how I was thoroughly disappointed because up until this point the school has been great to me and I have done really well here, but the fact that my email about not having food and wasn't even acknowledged really disappointed me, especially seeing as all the stuff that I've done since I've been here, which has been a lot. I've done a lot of things, and I have said nothing but good things about my school whenever I go out and I do these things. So that was like flabbergastingly, shockingly disappointing for me. Anyway, so her boss gets back to me 15 minutes later. 15 minutes, come on now. I was like, thank you. And he was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. And I was really, really thankful for him because straight off the bat, he was like, I'm so sorry that this is happening to you. I am going to see what I can do about the situation ASAP. In the meantime, can you please come to my office tomorrow morning so I can give you groceries and let me treat you to a meal, let me treat you to Starbucks, all that stuff. And I'm thinking in my head, like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, he didn't know what he could do to help me, but he at least said, I hear you. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Blah, 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 blah. Let me try to help out. And I wasn't even expecting anyone to be like, let me buy you this, let me buy you that. Because I really wasn't, that wasn't what I wanted. I just wanted a meal voucher that these motherfuckers already had in their possession. That's what blows me, because they already had them. They weren't used. So, he forwards my email to the first guy that I had emailed in my first email. And then he quickly responds like, oh, I'm so sorry this happened. You're definitely going to get a bunch of meal vouchers and let me treat you to Starbucks and whatever. And I'm thinking in my head, like, wow, you answered that email so fast. I guess it's because, someone in a position of power, put it in your attention, so now you actually give but that just blew me. It blew me that they already had that available and whatever. So yeah, so I go to his office, the first man. Go to the first man's office and I thank him because I'm really, really thankful, and I'm gonna write him in like a thank you letter. I've just been really busy. I haven't had time to write it, but that is on my list of things to do. I'm going to write him a thank you letter, because like, even if he couldn't have done anything, the fact that he took the time out to like email me back so quickly and to like try to help me with his own pocket meant the world to me. Okay, so then, because the second guy had asked me to go to his office that same day too, so after my class, I went to his office too, and I go to pick up my meal vouchers, and he hands the envelope to me, and it was awkward because I was like, yeah, thank you so much for this, whatever, and he was like, yeah, so do you want me to treat you to a meal or Starbucks? And I was like, no, that's okay. I really just wanted, these vouchers, because like, I don't need anyone to buy me a meal. That's not what I asked. I was just asking for accommodations. I just don't know. Anyway, so then it's awkward because we're kind of just standing there, because obviously he knows that I emailed him 3 days ago about this. And so then he was like, yeah, like, I'm sorry that we didn't get back to you. I read the email, and then I thought that, I'm just gonna call her Lisa. So he was like, I thought Lisa was gonna handle it. I think Lisa read it and she thought I was gonna handle it, and then it just never got addressed. And I was like, in my head, like, and neither of y'all ever thought to check up on it to see if it had been handled? But I didn't say that. I was just like, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Thank you. Just thank you for these. Thank you so much. Blah, 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 blah. And I left. But I was blown. But it was like, you know what? Take it in stride. It's whatever. I made a little ruckus, and I got what I needed. So I was proud of myself. But yeah, eventually the power came back on. The power has been back on, thank God, this whole week, because all this happened last week. And I finally like felt on my footing again this week. I still haven't bought groceries because I've just been using the vouchers, because I've been really scared about the state of the power. But next week, when I come after spring break, I'm gonna buy groceries and get back to my normal eating routines of like making breakfast, lunch, and dinner for myself and everything like that. But that was just, and then on top of that, I found out that my grandmother just got diagnosed with the same disease that killed my dad. So I have just, these past few weeks have just been hell, basically. But I'm pushing through. I'm not gonna let any motherfucking thing get me down for too long, because I'm a fighter, okay? I'm a fighter. And I'm just not gonna let anything get me down. I'm just not. And actually, good update. So, remember how I told you guys that like all my poetry got rejected for those two things? Well, the lady who read my submission to one of those invited me to another poetry workshop, and her email was so freaking nice. She was like, because of all of the promise that you showed in your poetry in your last submission, I really wanted to invite you to this workshop. And yeah, and I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. So I don't know, I'm feeling really good. I'm starting a novel, and I got workshopped in class. The first chapter of it got workshopped in class. I got really good feedback from my teacher and my class, except for this one motherfucker that I can't stand. But that's another, when I start telling you guys about the novel, that'll be a whole nother video. But he ripped me to shreds in the workshop. He ripped me, not only because like we have to read each other's work and send an email about our comments. Not only did he rip me to shreds in his email to me before class. He saw me and he was like, so I read your piece. Engaging. Wasn't entertained though. He said it just like that. I swear to God. I swear to God, he said it just like that. And I was like, so you were in, I was like, so what do you mean by that? He's like, well, it was definitely a page turner. But yeah, I just wasn't entertained. And I was like, so you were entertained, but you just didn't like what you were being entertained by. And he was like, no. And we ran out of time. And in class, he ripped me to shreds, ripped my whole work, just said everything that he fucking hated about my piece. And was like, yeah. And I was talking to someone before class about the difference between engaging and entertainment. And I just want to say that a car accident is engaging, but that doesn't mean it's entertaining though. And that's what I thought about this piece. I couldn't look away, but I wasn't entertained. And I was like, and because in workshop, if your piece is getting workshop, you can't say anything. I was fuming. But anyway, like I said, that's a whole story time for another day. Yeah. But yeah, so I need to stop this video. Is there any more? I think this is pretty much it. I wanted to do my hair some sort of style, but I don't think that's gonna happen. My cousin is gonna be here in like 40 minutes to pick me up. And I haven't packed anything because I've been doing laundry. 10 out of 10, would not recommend. Wouldn't recommend putting off to the last minute like I do. I don't know why I put on red lipstick. I just really felt like my lips were ashy. I'm also worried I'm gonna run out of memory on this phone and this video is gonna cut prematurely. Okay, so that is the update on my life. I'm going to try to make as many videos as I can while I'm home, but my grandmother is really sick and she's always home, and I feel weird making videos while she's there because she always wants to know what I'm doing. I'm gonna try my best, okay? That is the update on my life. Thank you so much for waiting for it. Thank you so much for watching and being concerned about me. Gracias por ver el video y se